Why do you build me up? Buttercup, baby, just to let me down and mess me around, and the worst of all.
What is going on, guys? I am back with another review of a day at an amusement park, and today I will be reviewing our first day at Carowinds. And so this is a trip that we'd been wanting to do for for like many years now, and we finally got the chance to do it. And so anyway, let's just get started. So when we first got to Carowinds, we hopped straight on Fury 325, which was a good ride on Fury, but it still needed to warm up. But I still thought that ride on Fury was good. And so after that, we rode Hurler, which was a horrible wooden coaster. RMC needs to come in and redo this thing and do their work, you know. And so after Hurler, we headed to Carolina Cyclone, which was really not a good ride. And then after Carolina Cyclone, we headed to Vortex, which, in my opinion, I think it's better than Green Lantern at Six Flags Great Adventure. But still, those older generation stand-up coasters are not that good. And so, anyway, after that, we headed to Intimidator, which that ride on Intimidator was the only earthing ride I had on Intimidator, and I'll get into more on that later in this review of the day. But anyway, that was the only earthing ride I've had on Intimidator, but it was still a good ride on Intimidator. Intimidator is a good B&M hyper, and so anyway, I think, yeah, I think Intimidator is my number 2 B&M hyper, but I'll do a full review on the coasters individually down the road in the future. But anyway, after Intimidator, we rode Nighthawk, which on our first ride on it, I didn't think it was as bad as people had said, because like I thought that ride on it was smoother than the ride we had on it later in the day. But anyway, after Nighthawk, we rode Afterburn, which is a really good B&M invert, actually. And I love snappier B&M inverts. And so after that, we rode Copperhead Strike, which I thought was a decent multi-launched coaster. And then after Copperhead Strike, we rode Electrospin, which was my first time riding a top scan in 5 years, and I think Electrospin is my favorite top scan over Shockwave at Canada's Wonderland. And I don't know, I throughout the trip, I feel like it kept getting crazier and crazier every time I rode it. And so anyway, after Electrospin, we got on Do-Si-Do, which I think Kaleidoscope's a better troika than Do-Si-Do in my opinion, because Do-Si-Do is more like tame in a way. And so anyway, after Do-Si-Do, we headed to Zephyr, and then after Zephyr, which I think, although Zephyr lifts up right away, but I think Wave Swinger at like other parks is better, because Zephyr is more like tame in a way. And so after Zephyr, we headed to Windstar, which was our first time ever on a Zamperla Windstar, and so Windstars. And so yeah, I loved that might be my new second favorite flat by Zamperla, but number 1 being the Power Surges. And so after after Windstar, we headed to Gear Spin, which I think is hands down my favorite themed Nebulas. Like, and Gear Spin's operations are better than Mixed's too, because Mixed, they stop at the top mid-cycle, but Gear Spin just does the 2 cycles right away, and so, which really speeds up the line. And plus, Carowinds went like all out with the theming of Gear Spin. And Hershey Park with Mixed, they didn't do as much with the theming. I mean, they put little Jolly Rancher like elements on the ride, but they didn't do that much with theming. And so after Gear Spin, we did Airwalker, which was our first normal Zamperla disco we've done. I just remembered I did a normal Zamperla disco at Adventure Dome, and which was good, but it was EB's first ever normal Zamperla disco. That's not like Pipe Scream at Cedar Point or Surf Dog at Kings Island. And so anyway, after Airwalker, we headed to Air Racers, which was really good, and I think that was my favorite Air Racers model over Aang's Air Gliders at Nickelodeon Universe and Air Racer at Playland's Castaway Cove. And so after Air Racer, we did Gyro Force, which I think I liked Wipeout that used to be at Knoebels better because it was more wilder, and Gyro Force was more tamer in a way. And after we got off of that, we really didn't need to ride it again for the rest of the trip because of how tame it was. And so after Gyro Force, we headed to Blue Ridge Country Junction for lunch, and I thought that was a really good lunch at Blue Ridge Country Junction. It was really good. I forget what the restaurant's even called, but comment down below if I'm calling the restaurant by the wrong name, Blue Ridge Country Junction. But anyway, after that good lunch, we headed to Flying Cobras, and after Flying Cobras, we headed to Ripcord, which was our first ever sky coaster, and let me tell you, it was like absolutely insane. Like it was a whole process to get on, and I think sky coasters are really insane, and I definitely want to do more of those in the future. And yeah, after Ripcord, we got the cred on Kitty Hawk, where someone asked if they could move my shoes to the side, and then they were having a whole conversation about it. And then after Kitty Hawk, that's right, I actually was able to go earthing on a kitty credit, which was absolutely insane. But it felt like good. I felt good to be able to go earthing on a kitty credit. And so after Kitty Hawk, we headed to Woodstock Express, where we got the credit on that. And then after Woodstock Express, we headed to Carolina Gold Rusher, which I thought was a decent mine train. And then after Carolina Gold Rusher, we rode Carowinds' Slingshot too. That's right, we did 2 of Carowinds' upcharge attractions in one day, which is absolutely insane. But yeah, we did Slingshot, and then we got stuck at the top. We got stuck at the top for mad long, but we didn't get stuck at the very top, but we were stuck on Slingshot for a little bit. But it was a nice view of Fury from where we were stuck at, not gonna lie, but still was annoying that we got stuck. And so after that, we rode Fury 325 twice, and then after Fury 325, we headed to Drop Tower, which kind of reminded me of Stratosphere at Knoebels in a way, but yeah, but because of the way it dropped you after only a little bit, but yeah, but except Drop Tower actually slows down at the top and then stops for a bit, I think, and then it drops you. But Stratosphere, you just go up, and then when you get to the top, the thing clicks, and boom, you're suddenly dropping like that. But I think I like Stratosphere at Knoebels better than Drop Tower at Carowinds. But yeah, Carowinds' Drop Tower kind of reminded me of Stratosphere in a way, but after Drop Tower, we rode Carolina Sky Tower, where we got some really good views of the skyline. And after Carolina Sky Tower, we actually got a re-ride on Nighthawk because we thought it was that good at first, but we got in a different row this time, and it was just as rough as people were saying. Now we started to see why people were saying it was that rough. And so after that, we headed to Windseeker, which was a good ride on it, and there were lots of people voluntarily taking their shoes off too, not just me. And so after Windseeker, we headed to Copperhead Strike, which is a good multi-launched coaster, And after Copperhead Strike, we went back around for another ride on Copperhead Strike. And then we headed for a re-ride on Windstar. And then we did 2 rides on Afterburn, both of which were very good. And after that, we got a re-ride in on Electro Spin because, you know, it's that good of a flat. And then I think it's one of my like favorite flats at Carowinds, Electro Spin. And yeah, after Electro Spin. And so after the Electro Spin, we got a re-ride on both Fury and Hurler. And Fury was a great ride. It had definitely warmed up by then. But Hurler, we decided to give a second chance. And it still gets a 1 out of 10, even outside the vlog. Because, as you know, as I've said, RMC really needs to come in and do their work here. Because this is a rough coaster. And so, after Hurler, we headed to Screamweaver, which is Carowinds' Enterprise. And I thought that was better than the Enterprise at Dorney, to be honest, because, like, I just think I felt a lot more speed and laterals compared to how much I would feel on Dorney's Enterprise. Man, like, oh my gosh, like, Screamweaver is, like, so much better than Enterprise. And after that, we ate at Harmony Hall, which was really good, and I could not decide between the Italian section, which served pizza, barbecue section, which served, of course, barbecue-type foods, and the grill section, which served American foods. And I was thinking about going back to the pizza section, but I'd already had pizza the night before, and we ate pizza at Carowinds' Papa Luigi's the second day of the trip, and yeah, so I decided to go to the grill section while Evie went to the barbecue section because I thought I remembered having something barbecue for lunch at Blue Ridge Country Junction. I don't know, but yeah. So, anyways, I got to the grill section at Harmony Hall and got the jumbo hot dog, which was really good, and yeah, we got a night ride on we got a night ride on Intimidator, which later in the day they started like enforcing shoes on Intimidator, which I don't know why, but I don't know if that just became a new policy or what the deal is, but they started enforcing shoes on Intimidator. And then we got another ride on Fury, and then after that ride on Fury, we got in line again, and then we got on the train, and then after the train got in the brake run, we all started chanting one more time, and then we went around again, which if you get last ride of the night on Fury, then you get to go around twice, which is lit. And yeah, so that was a great way to end the Carowinds trip. So that basically concludes this review of the first day at Carowinds. Reply to me your thoughts on this video, and make sure to stay tuned for more. Coming soon to Coaster Plus Music 19, and make sure to go check out my merch store on Bonfire. I'll have a link in the description. I sell t-shirts, face masks, all the things, so make sure to go check it out. I'll have a link in the description, and make sure to subscribe if you are new and turn on post notifications so you will not miss when I upload a new video, and I will see you in the next.